Hello, it is Foundation Friday, January 6th, 2023. Another glorious, fantastic winter, late afternoon sunset going on behind me. Just came out and had the clouds up there were all orange and red and yellow and golden, and now the sun is setting a little more, but still really beautiful back there as we go for another in our multi-part series on the fantastic foundational book, The Magic of Thinking Big by Dr. David J. Schwartz. We are in chapter 10 rather, Get the Action Habit. So much in the action habit that I thought I used the word action for chapter. Anyway, chapter 10, Get the Action Habit. And we left off last week talking about, we've all been there, waiting until things are perfect to take action, which means, of course, we never take action. So Dr. Schwartz shares with us, here are two things you can do to help you avoid the costly mistake of waiting until conditions are perfect before you act. Number one, expect future obstacles and difficulties. Every venture presents risks, problems, and uncertainties. Any business, he gives the analogy here to driving a car. Let's suppose you wanted to drive from Chicago to LA, but you insisted on waiting until you had absolute assurance that there would be no detours, no motor trouble, no bad weather, no drunken drivers, no risk of any kind. When would you start? The answer, of course, is never. In planning your trip to LA, it makes sense to map your route, check your car, and other ways to eliminate as much risk as possible before you start, but you can't eliminate all risks. And of course, the same with any idea, anything you're going to implement in your business. And number two, you want to meet problems and obstacles as they arise. I see way too many people fall for this one. I used to do it myself. I probably cured myself when I first read this book almost 40 years ago now, where I would think about all kinds of solutions to all kinds of problems that hadn't come up yet. And I see people do it all the time. What if? Oh, if this happens, then what? Hey, hang on. Cross that bridge when you come to it. Or as Dr. Schwartz says, the test of a successful person is not the ability to eliminate all problems before he takes action, but rather the ability to find solutions to difficulties when he encounters them. In business, in marriage, in any activity at all, cross bridges when you come to them. We can never buy an insurance policy against all problems. And then he'll give a couple of examples here to help us make up our mind to do something about your ideas. Make up your mind. Do something about the ideas. I'm famous for saying ideas make you feel good, but only action makes you money, because at hundreds and hundreds of seminars I've conducted over the years for small business owners, that's the number one response I get when I send people out, a team, or I used to do it myself, to collect testimonial videos. And number one response would be like, that was fantastic. I got so many ideas. I got a notebook full of ideas. I took 20 pages of notes. Man, I got a lot of ideas. Steve is awesome. Every time I come, it's great ideas. And early on, I made the big mistake of, when I would run into someone later, or when I had a membership group and would see people every month or see them in a couple of months, I'd make the big mistake of asking them, so whatever it was, that idea you were so excited about last time, how's it working out? Oh, big mistake. I don't know what percent, but it's way over 90% of people or never take action on their ideas, or certainly nearly 100% of ideas are never acted on. So really, you want to, hopefully you've gotten your own copy of this book, The Magic of Thinking Big. You might want to go through this chapter over and over and over, so you don't get what, I've heard the term, you probably have too, analysis paralysis, or paralysis by analysis, just thinking, getting excited about the idea, but not taking action. You want to cure yourself of that. Dr. Schwartz tells us that ideas are important. Let's make no mistake about that. But we must have ideas to create and improve anything. But so he says here, we must have ideas to create and improve anything. Success shuns the man who lacks ideas. But let's make no mistakes about this point either. Ideas in themselves are not enough. That idea for getting more business, for simplifying work procedures, for anything at all, is of value only when it is acted upon. Every day, thousands of people bury good ideas because they are afraid to act on them. And afterwards, the ghosts of those ideas come back to haunt them. And we will pick up next time as Dr. Schwartz will give us 2 thoughts to put deep into our mind to cure ourselves once and for all of the, I got a lot of ideas, but I also have perfectionism, and therefore I don't take enough action. I don't get the value out of those ideas. Join us again next Foundation Friday for that. The next in our multi-part series on the fantastic foundational book, could not more highly recommend you go out and get your copy, The Magic of Thinking Big by Dr. David J. Schwartz. That'll do it for today, as the sun is setting now in the west and just a trace of the fantastic, gorgeous sunset behind me. Thanks for being here today or watching on the replay. And I will catch you back here again tomorrow on Social Media Saturday.